I guess they started the game they came out like ready to defend us. They threw a lot of different stuff at us defensively. I thought that kind of got us out of our flow and what we like to do. They had good ball pressure. They just played really hard and with a lot of intensity. And I think as the game went on, I think we matched it, but I don't think necessarily right out of the gates we matched it like we wanted to. But I think half the time we were trying to figure out what defense they were in to match their intensity. So I thought they did a really good job of coming out and giving us a lot of different looks.
Allison, given the game that's coming up Saturday with South Dakota State, I know you could start focusing on that now that this one's behind you, right? But good to be tested like this right before a game like that?
Oh, yeah. I thought this was a really good game to get us prepared for the next one. Obviously, we didn't think of SDSU yet, but now I guess the rest of the week we'll be focusing on that. But, yes, this was a great game. They came and played really hard, and that's a lot what we're going to see on Saturday. So, yeah, it was a great game.
Bridget, when Allison steps up to the line, what, 30-something times or whatever in the fourth quarter, it felt like. You're very confident that she'll go up there and knock those down.
Yeah, I am. I have a lot of confidence in anybody to step up and make free throws, but I knew when she was making them at the end of the game that we wanted her to have the ball in her hands to kind of get us in a more comfortable spot as far as not a 1 or 2 point game. So she did a good job of stepping up and making them.
Free throws and rebounding are always key, portions of the game. You guys really dominated both phases of that tonight. I thought that was a key to the win.
Yeah.
Do you think that, those numbers right there just go to show you, if you're not necessarily if the field goals aren't necessarily falling, you could still overcome that with just the effort type stuff?
Yeah, I think we always put a lot of emphasis on rebounding and keeping teams off the free throw line. We always want to attempt more free throws than they make. And I think, every day in practice we work on rebounding, and at the end of the game, they got a few offensive rebounding, and you could just see the momentum shift. And so going forward in the Summit League, if you want to win, you're going to have to rebound, and you're going to have to win the battle of the boards. Otherwise, it's going to be really tight games, and you might not like the outcome. So.
And if they're gonna play you that physically, is that what you expect? You guys have obviously a reputation of a lot of success, and
yeah.
Teams are gonna give you their best effort every night. It's kind of any chance. So is this what you plan on seeing the rest of the way through?
Yeah. The Summit League's tough, and it's I'm glad we're in it because it just makes us tougher. And I think that every team in the Summit League has a chance to do great things and upset whoever. So. Every night you come out, you're going to have to put your game face on and be just a little bit tougher if you want to come out on top.
Allison, was there something that you maybe learned about your team today?
I learned probably that, when tough challenges come upon us, that we're able to get through them. We had 3 of our starters kind of in foul trouble, and that's hard to pull out a win like that. So it was really good to see some of the bench players come off and step up. I know Taylor Frederick hit a couple big shots for us, and Madison McKeever always comes in and plays really solid defense. So it was really good to see some bench players come and take their part and just see that we can overcome some of that adversity.
Are you anxious now? Start with Allison. Anxious now that you can focus on SDSU, you don't have to apologize for or pretend you're not thinking about it?
Anxious is kind of a tough word. I feel like it's going to just be another game. We got to look at it that way. They can be our rivalry school, but just take it just like any other game and focus on ourselves, focus on our defense. I feel like tonight maybe that's one area we need to improve on for the next game. Not necessarily who we play, but just in general.
How different do you think it's going to feel? No Macy, no Nicole, and a lot of the Coyotes that have been such a big part of this thing, especially for you, Bridget. You played a lot of games in this series, and it's going to have a totally different look this season.
Yeah, it will be different without Nicole, and it definitely will be different without Macy. That's a really tough loss, but they're a great team regardless, and I think it's just. I think a lot of people have been surprised thus far, but honestly, we just want to keep getting better one day at a time and one game at a time. And like Allison said, we're honestly just playing each game for what it is, because you can't really take a step past the next one until you take care of business with the first one. So the SDSU game, you know, it's the next one on our schedule, and we're going to do our best to prepare for that and the best to, yeah, give them our best shot. So.
Glad to have the first one at home.
Yeah. We love playing at home. I mean, our fans today were awesome. You know, like when it got down the stretch and we just needed a little boost. You know, I will say it over and over again. Of all the places I've played, we definitely have some of the most outstanding fans. You just look around and you just have a sense of pride to wear Coyotes on your shirt, because it is really something special.
All right, well, I thought that was a very hard-fought battle, and give our kids a lot of credit, because there were times when the game really started to seesaw either way, and I thought our kids really kept their composure and battled throughout the course of 40 minutes, and were fortunate enough to come out on top.
All right, who'd like to start us off with questions?
What was it about Denver that, you know, made it a little more difficult than maybe you thought it might be?
Well, I don't know that we didn't think it was going to be difficult. I think they are a team that's been in a lot of close games, and really, unfortunately for them, haven't come out on top in a lot of those situations. But they're a team that I thought what happened to us early on, we got to the rim, we got some really good shots. I think we were 1 of 4 on layup opportunities and some short shots. I thought in the first quarter we were getting good shots, we weren't making them. I think after that, we started the second quarter, we started to move the ball better. Third and fourth quarters, we had stretches where our offense was productive. We had stretches where we really struggled to get things going and had a lot of late shot clock situations. But for us, it's, you know, we've been, our offense, I don't think it's a surprise, our offense has been what's carried us so far. And early in the game and during stretches of the game when it wasn't able to do that, we had to find a way defensively. And, you know, I thought our kids did that. We missed a couple of assignments, and they made us pay for those, because they've got kids that can score. So we had to continue to switch up some of the actions and how we were guarding them.
6 field goals the whole second half. I mean, is kind of what you mentioned there. Is that a perfect coaching point that, hey, some nights the field goals might not
right.
be falling, but you can still figure out ways to win games, and you did it tonight at the free throw line and on the
right.
glass.
And I thought for us, really, in the second half, we had, it seemed like a 10-point lead, 10 or 11, I think it was, and then we really struggled. We just couldn't score during those stretches. I thought we were doing a fairly decent job on Denver, but we weren't finishing the play. We weren't getting some of the defensive rebounds. So they kind of went on a run. We missed some assignments on ball screens. They hit some shots. And so we weathered the storm. You know, Allison Arms had 20 free throws. I don't know if that's a record here, but it's certainly a record that I've seen. That's a lot of free throws for one kid. And she continued to attack and make things happen.
12 in the fourth quarter. I mean, you can't
right.
ask for a better performance.
No, I guess you can't. I guess you can't go 13 for 12,
right?
can you?
I guess not.
No. I guess you're right.
That's a great phrasing of that question.
That was a great phrasing.
I just
Thank you.
point that out to all of you. It's a teaching point. Right
Oh.
John, is that it with Allison getting to the line that much? Maybe an example of if you're going to be that type of scorer, if you're going to get 20 a night, that they're going to be nice when that's the way you're going to have to do it?
Well, I think she's someone who's a very determined individual, and so when some of them were on drives, some of them were on really hard cuts, and when she would cut hard and kids grabbed her, held her, because she's a very good scorer, so you know they're late on it, she finds ways to get to the free throw line. I thought she did a tremendous job of that tonight. Find ways. That was about as intelligent as Jay's comment right there. We are really doing a great job tonight, aren't we?
Can't wait till Monday. It's going to be great.
Awesome.
Taylor Frederick, 7 minutes, but very productive 7 minutes, and when he needed it, in a couple of players in some foul trouble there for you.
Well, we've been pretty fortunate the last couple games because we've stayed out of foul trouble. This game, it didn't happen for us. I think we had 4 offensive fouls in the first half alone, had 3 kids in foul trouble. I thought she came into the game, Taylor came in and gave us some very, very important minutes. I think when she's in the game, our offense actually moves better, which is rare for a freshman, but she does a great job understanding the movement, getting teammates open. I got to the free throw line a couple of times, attacked the rim, so I thought she played very, very well.
How much improvement have you seen in her from the beginning till right now then?
Well, it's so from this summer to preseason, I thought she got better. From the preseason to now, I think she continues to get better. So it's really fun to watch her development. She's a kid that really has the ability to score it from the perimeter. She's a kid that has the ability to get to the rim. I think she's a good athlete. She can defend multiple spots defensively for us. So I think she's a kid that her future is very, very bright.
Saturday, your first chance at this field the last few years,
Right.
with both teams being as good as they have been. Number one, I guess just your feelings about especially it being here for the first time and being a part of that for the first time.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. I thought tonight is what we've been hoping for and really wanting in the Sanford Coyote Sports Center. It got loud tonight. Even when we were on defense, the fans just took over. They just kind of willed our kids to get stops, and we got multiple stops and rebounds. That was really fun to be a part of. So looking forward to what that feels like in that type of a game, in that rivalry game.
I'm sure you haven't had a chance to dig in depth on what you're going to be facing on Saturday, but obviously it's a different team that started the season for them. Have you had a chance to assess what that team is like, how they're going to have to win their games without, the best?
Yeah, I don't know if I have a good answer for that right now, but I think certainly I think there were 5 kids on the preseason all-conference teams. They have 5 of the top 10 players in the conference, so at least that's what coaches and you guys said. So obviously they have talent. We've got to find ways to slow them down and hopefully get our offense moving a little bit quicker.
Coach, this is this was the first game of the Summit League, and even though there was a lot of fouls on both sides of the court, how was it for you as a coach seeing first play here in the Summit League? Is that kind of momentum that you guys you've studied looking into going into the beginning of all Summit League?
Well, I think what I told our kids after the game is that because of what has happened in the past year, because of the success that our kids have had in the past, last year and the year before, in the regular season, it excites the teams and energizes the teams that play against you. And so those teams come in and they're going to play as hard as they've played all season, harder. And so it's fun to be in that situation, and it's going to bring out our best. We're going to have to continue to rise to the challenge.
Good to be tested like this right before Saturday?
I think very good to be tested. It is. I think for us, we go back to the drawing board and we figure out how do we manufacture stops, how do we manufacture scores. And I thought that's kind of what this game was. That because of the free throw situation, there were a lot of stoppages of play. And so because of that, it felt like it's a dogfight out there, just going at it. And fortunately, it's a good situation because we come out on top, but our kids learn a lot of things. Even at the end of the game, we talked about different situations and how we want to guard. We gave up 2 3-point shots late in the game that we didn't want to give up. We missed some assignments with that. So we learned from those opportunities.
Milestone win for you tonight, too. Any thoughts on that?
No. No, I've really been fortunate to coach some really good players and have a staff that works their tails off and puts us in really good situations. So it's fun, but it's not something that we celebrate at this point in time because now we got some work to do.